Can you hear me, boys? Is my microphone on? I think it is. Yes. Okay. You should be able to hear me. Are you ready to hear about Mr. Loon's Balloons? We're doing court today. I have more talking to do with this small little German boy, who's actually a Bohemian boy, but in my headcanon, he is from Deutschland. Anyways, we got to hear his testimony. It's been a minute. I missed you guys yesterday. I went to family dinner. It was a lovely time. I always love getting a free meal. I also stopped at the Crumble cookie store and ate a cookie, and I'm feeling a little bit fat off of that. Oh, and I got all of my hairs chopped off. It's a little bit shorter than what I like to go for, but that's fine. It gives it a week to go in, because next week I'm going out of town, and I'll be ready for that. Oh, and your boy is having mild panic attacks. I mean, well, not aggressively. Look, I hate the healthcare system. I rant about it almost every day. You guys know I'm like a broken record. We hate talking about it, but I do have to deal with it. So what's my latest dilemma? Well, once again, my prep doctor, they're trying to talk about my kidneys again. We're done having that conversation. My doctor still to this day is like, well, George, your creatinine levels are a little bit high, but the cystatin C test is normal, which is the test that I had to like fight for them to start giving for me. Because I was like, I think the creatinine test is wrong. I think the cystatin C test is more accurate. And my kidneys look beautiful when you're using cystatin C as the biomarker instead of creatinine. But anyways, the doctors, they always play, well, to be on the safe side, maybe we should just do another ultrasound on your kidneys. I'm like, the last time you ordered an ultrasound on my kidneys, it cost me $800. Like, listen, I understand that as the doctor, you want to be like, well, we should play it on the safe side. But like, I'm the one who has to pay all the bills when you want to play it on the safe side. But it's not about my kidneys. No. This boy who's been absolutely covered in moles his whole entire life has scheduled a visit at the dermatologist. Why, might you ask? Well, once again, probably fucking nothing. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, God bless. But there is one mole in particular on my body that has been causing me concern. I have a mole on my leg. It's actually on my upper thigh, and it is one of the blackest moles on my body, probably. I would describe... It's funny. I have moles almost everywhere on my body, but they almost all have a very, very similar shade of brown. I would almost describe all of them as like milk chocolate, whereas this one on my leg I would definitely describe as more like dark chocolate. It's definitely a much darker pigment than my normal moles, but that's easy enough for me to ignore. I wouldn't be bothered by it. But recently, I've noticed that the mole appears to be crusty. I actually don't know how to describe it other than that. It's feeling a little bit textured. It's feeling a little bit scaly. It feels like it's protruding up from the surface of my skin, whereas I feel like in my brain I always remember that mole as being a flat mole, but now it just feels like it's getting like dusty, crusty, dead skin flaked up and built up on the top of it. Does this sound attractive? Am I turning you on? The point is, it's becoming concerning enough that I was like, damn it, George, you should go get this looked at by a dermatologist. But here's the fun thing. They can't schedule me for 6 weeks. So, no matter the fact that I might be concerned about it, and no matter the fact that it's considered a diagnostic, so it's not covered by my health insurance, so I might be spending another God knows how many dollars, because also, you don't know how much anything costs until you get it done. That's the real panic attack that I'm having about this. I don't know what this is about to do to my finances, because I have to pay now to visit the dermatologist. If the dermatologist agrees with me that they want that they just want to check the mole out, just ordering a simple biopsy of it, I don't know how much that's going to cost me, but I do know it's going to be diagnostic, and my insurance is going to be like, you're going to have to pay for that. So So I don't love that. And yes, 6 weeks, I guess, is actually at the lucky end of things. But like when you find something that you want to get tested, actually, you probably want to get it tested as quickly as possible. So I don't love the idea of waiting 6 weeks. But I mean, what more can you do? I asked the dermatologist, the clinic, they were, or the people, the specialist, I should say. And they were like, yeah, well, we don't even have like a cancellation policy. Like we don't even have a waiting list for if people cancel. So what you could do is you can log on to the website every single day and you can check to see if there's cancellations. We will not call you if there's a cancellation. But if anything opens up, you can keep an eye out. Otherwise, we can just schedule for you for this date at the end of August. The end of August. The end of August. So I will be longingly awaiting for the day to get this scaly little fuck scraped off my leg. Hopefully wasting my money to learn that it's completely benign and there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm just like freaking out over nothing. But they do say better safe than sorry, which is a fancier way in the United States of saying bankrupt yourself to know that you're safe. Dope. All right. Well, anyways, I just had to get that off my chest. Now that I've dropped that on you, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to turn up the air because I'm already getting hot and bothered, and then I'm going to play the motherfucking video game. That's what I came here to do. Changeling DJ, Jacob Welsh, Tito TJ, Rennie, and Kuran says, hello, welcome. You're a lesbian? I don't recall talking about lesbians, but that's fantastic for you. I'm a homosexual. All right. Also, this is for documentation purposes. In case, God forbid, I get fucking killed by the healthcare system making me wait to check on something, I want to start a hellstorm over that. But let's not go down that road, because I don't want to bring that kind of energy into my life. All right, Mr. Loon's Balloons, talk about it.
As I said, Balthazar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely.
Does that mean that there was an unauthorized balloon flying up in the skies? Hey, Nick, we're unauthorized personnel. Rennie, was my mole attractive? I was asking if I'm attractive. Yeah, lesbians tend to not think I'm very attractive. Sometimes I look like a lesbian, though. I have a lesbian friend, and there's been many jokes made. I should see if I can dig up pictures. Maybe I'll do a show and tell. I have a lesbian friend, and we've gone to like many events in our friend groups where we've worn almost the exact same outfit. Cause she likes to dress in like flannel, and I, in the fall months, like to wear some flannel. There's one from like, we went to a Halloween festival. We had the exact same haircut, cause she gets a faded side haircut and she has like, you know, short spiked up hair. And then we both wore checkered red and black flannels, and we just looked literally identical to each other. And I was like, so does she look like a man or do I look like a lesbian? And then I really didn't want to dig into it that deeply. So I was like, you know what? Let me just let this go.
All three of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in an explosion, what a catastrophe!
Well, you can't get away from the fact that a burnt-up bit of cloth was found at the scene, could ya? The coppers in the yard reckon it probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. Gina Lestrade, I hate you so fucking much.
This stupido ragazzo is mistaken. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes anywhere.
Oh, that's good to know.
So your assertion is that the balloon this child saw was not one belonging to you? Si, exactamente. If he even saw the balloon in the first place. I do not like the sound of it. It is very bad for business.
Dave Abler, hello. Good to see ya.
I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia.
If you attack us, we will fight back! It will be for all out war!
Ready to get kicked out of my apartment. But we will practice commerce. What happened to all-out war? Capitalism trumps war. Mr. Loon certainly doesn't appear to be lying, but that doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. If the defense is unable to find fault with the witness's statements, the court must consider them to be truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend. Hey, he hasn't really called me Nipponese in a while. Is he warming up to me? In the past, he was always like my learned Nipponese friend. He kind of dropped that from his vocabulary. Do you think he was worried about getting canceled, or do you think he's starting to like me better? It's just something that I've noticed. The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes.
Counselor, you may now cross-examine the witnesses.
Thanks. Let's get cross-examining. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. Can you account for all of them then? You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe? One of your big-ass balloons unaccounted for?
Signor! I might not notice if I was given 100 lentils and one was missing. But we are talking about 3 enormous balloons! Do you believe I could make a mistake about something so grand and expensive?
I took the liberty of having Inspector Gregson check this gentleman's warehouse. I have the report here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons.
Well, it would appear no mistake has been made then.
Well, surely Miss Lestrade could have been sent for, such a menial task. What? Yeah, get rid of Gina.
What? Me? I'll tell you what I told the boss. East End kids like me can only count up to 2. Obviously that ain't true, but the boss bought it and said he'd have a go at it himself, and that's the case.
Right, I'm sure she can count all the way to 5. Yellow Ninja 19, hello. You beautiful, pathetic orphan. Okay, all 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground, what a catastrophe. All right, who was in every balloon? Can I get a report on this? It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Loon, tell me, what is it that keeps these balloons in the sky? Air.
Are you an idiota?
Es tut mir leid? I mean, Entschuldigung? I mean, sorry?
That is like asking, why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright. And a balloon flies because it flies. What else?
Wait, no. Mr. Balloon Enthusiast, shouldn't you be like super excited to tell me all about how the fire makes the air molecules and then fast and then and then the balloon goes high? Ha. That must be Italian for I don't know. There are 2 types of flying balloons, hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work on the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air. Yeah, the density of the particles. Whereas gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air. Yeah, like the Hindenburg. We don't like to talk about that. It didn't go very well. Okay. Helium. We use helium now because hydrogen, super dangerous gas to use to lift your balloons.
See, and my balloons are filled with the magic gas, I believe.
Wait, what? No, you're using the hot air. You're using hot air balloons. Hydrogen, lighter than air but highly explosive. Right. That's why we don't use hydrogen. Do you guys even know chemistry yet? How far along are we in the timeline? I don't know history that well.
Oh, good lord. I do not promote smoking of the cigarettes in any of my balloons. The magic gas does not like fire.
So wait, he doesn't use hot air balloons? He uses hydrogen balloons? I'm getting more confused the more that I talk to this man. I was fully convinced we were doing a hot air balloon thing here. What? Even a small spark of static electricity could cause the entire balloon to explode. Yeah, super dangerous. We don't do it anymore. But we have done it in the past.
What is the matter with you, Signor? All that comes out of your mouth is explosion, explosion. I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be or I cannot eat. None of my balloons exploded that day, I am completely assured. But if you still say that is what happened, you must show me the proof.
Well, let's think about this for a second. So, Mr. Loon had 3 balloons in the air that day, and they were hydrogen balloons. Girl. Lawsuit. MD34411. Hello, did not know you did YouTube lives. Oh, girl, I have been doing it for years. Welcome. If none of them were damaged, then what was the one that exploded? Maybe that was the hot air balloon. Alright, but you can't get away from the fact that a burnt up bit of cloth was found at the scene, could ya? I don't think we can, no. But I really don't want to talk to you, so I'm gonna skip over your parts. The coppers at the yard reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion. Alright, let's touch on this. The zigzags. Oh, you're watching Dual Destinies? That was my favorite game to play. Don't be fooled. I know it seems like I might have hated the game in case number 2 because I really hate Jinxie. But I did love everything else about the game. You mean the color is wrong?
Si, Signor! I do not have any green balloons in my warehouse.
And yet, a piece of green cloth was found at the scene. It's unmistakably from a balloon.
Well, I do not know how that can be.
For the sake of argument, let's say that a green balloon did explode above the stage. You couldn't therefore conclude that it happened on the day in question. Why not? Warum nicht? There have been recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park operating from before the Great Exhibition. One could have exploded on some earlier date. Unfortunate, as I'm sure you'd agree.
Oh, you believe it may have been from some earlier balloon accident that predates the exhibition? Si, exactamente! As the Signor says, it is not from one of my balloons. Clearly, this little ragazzo from Bohemia is mistaken about what he saw.
Oh, good. The kid's all riled up. All right, child. Start yelling for me. Is something wrong, little German boy?
It's Master Wilhelm Gottschalk Ormstein!
Oh, right. Sorry. All 4 of names. Right. The name was right on the tip of my tongue. Sir Master William Gottsmilk Scrib Sigmund Freud. Yes.
Yeah! Something is very wrong! I know what I saw! There was a green balloon there, I swear it! I swear all over Bohemia!
You can speak as much bad language as you like, but it changes nothing.
Oh my god. The balloon buying.
If you do not have evidence, Ragazzo, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh?
Right. Maybe we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishments. Also, where are this kid's parents? Is that important? Maybe?
Evidence? What is this? Evidence?
Well, to give a simple example, young man. A photograph, for instance.
Look at this photograph.
Some tangible proof of what you claim.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so sooner? I have the photograph here.
What?
Oh, good gracious.
He has a camera?
What?
I had not been up in a balloon for a little while or so. I was very excited. I took lots and lots of photographs! Of the Crystal Tower, of the Bohemian exhibit, of the streets of London, of the hot air cellar, the balloon.
And the instantaneous kinesis experiment? Did you take a picture of that?
Yeah, one picture.
Really? You did take one?
But all I wanted was a ride in the balloon. I was not interested in boring experiments.
Never mind that. Can you show us the photograph?
Of course. And then you will see that I am not lying. since I really did see our green balloon.
What am I looking at? Oh, wait, I wasn't done. Okay. No, we're getting somewhere here. Is this helpful or not? I would really appreciate it if we could get it in color.
Well, I see you are all too shocked to speak.
Yes, I think shocked is indeed the word, young man.
One balloon, please. Yeah, perhaps you cannot see that it is a green balloon from this photograph. Aber. But that is not my fault! That is the fault of this stupid person who makes a camera!
Oh no! He's sad and he's crying. I get it. They didn't invent color photography yet. Fun fact, I think I've shared this one before, but I am like an old man who likes to tell the same stories. When I first was a small, stupid, idiot child, probably around this kid's age. No, let's go younger. I used to think, as a stupid, idiot kid probably would, I thought that the world used to be in black and white, because, like, old movies were. And then I thought at some point around the time that The Wizard of Oz was made, that the world had invented color. And that color was brought into the universe. I didn't understand how cameras worked. That is one very bohemian-sounding cry.
Very well. The court will accept this photograph as evidence.
Alright, well, yeah, maybe the photo's not in color, but what about the zigzags? Can I verify that this balloon doesn't have zigzags? Because he said his balloon said zigzags.
It is not my fault. It is the fault of the person who made the camera.
That must be Mr. Sholmes. Well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful sepia memories to take home with you. In any case, when exactly did you take that photograph?
Well, it was on the day of the big explosion.
Well, yeah, I gathered that much.
When I pressed the shutter release, there was this very loud bang! And a hot wind rushed over my face.
That means this photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred.
Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changes nothing. I could not give the flying fig.
Whoa, you are one letter away from really offending me. Okay, but, well, you can't really see but there's no persons inside of this balloon. The basket is empty. Maybe the green balloon is a red herring. Maybe it was a distraction. That could be the case. Lovely language you've picked up. No, I think I got this in the bag now. I think I've solved this. Alright, as I thought, Mr. Loon's testimony doesn't quite add up. Where does he talk about people in the balloons? Okay. Mr. Loon vehemently denies this possibility, that there's another balloon. And it's hard to imagine that the man in charge could be mistaken about the number that were in the air. Still, this inconsistency must tell us something. I think I know what it tells us. I think I got the evidence that I need. All three of my balloons were carrying passengers. That's where you done fucked up. Where is the passenger in this photo? Click it and stick it.
Objection.
I know that I'm right this time. Unfortunately, the photograph Mr. Gotts took can't tell us the color of the balloon. Sorry, I misspoke. The color of the balloon. But it can tell us something else. Something crucially important. What? It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers.
Oh, my goodness, you're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise. See, they are for pleasure, for seeing the view. My balloons only fly with passengers.
Which tells us that the pictured balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the skies above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon.
I know nothing! Niente! I only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not one of mine!
Oh, girl, he's bulging. I don't like that. There are illegal tradesmen everywhere you care to look. Clearly, one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exhibition, and managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing.
See! The competition is trying to steal my profits!
They weren't flying any customers!
I did not notice because of the experimento that went wrong on the stage.
This fourth balloon exploded at the very same moment that Mr. Assman was beamed from the stage below.
Right! So them scraps that fell to the ground after and left them scorch marks. They didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits of the balloon raining down. Because no one was in it. It didn't get no attention.
A mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers, silently floating over the experimentation stage.
Objection.
This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue trader. Clearly it has nothing to do with the case. I disagree. I think it has everything to do with the case.
Well, its relevance eludes me, I must say.
The court has seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. Girl, he's fucking reading the paper. We have a magician in the jury. This is a magic show. It's all about sleight of hands. What do magicians do? They distract people to carry out their illusions. Look over here while I do something over here. That's what happened. I'm calling this case. The green balloon exploding that nobody saw or paid attention to was the distraction so that Mr. Assman could run over to the Crystal Tower and pretend he was beamed there. Maybe my logic isn't sound yet, but it's getting there. Really? Do we really have the truth yet? I'm not convinced. No, I can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up, and they're not in our favor. What else can this photograph tell us? Is there nothing else that we can learn from it? Oh no, there's always something more. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I've only told like 5. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait! Please, don't give your decisions yet. The photograph from Master Gotts may well be hiding one more vital clue.
What's that?
A vital clue?
Objection.
We're well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for definitives now, so tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue in the photograph prove? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. It appears to be a gas balloon because I don't see the fiery contraption that would cause the oh good, I can zoom in. Well, is this an explosion happening down here on the stage? Here's Mr. Scientist doing his little thing. Is Mr. Assman inside of the birdcage? He is. I think that's him. And then we got people. We got lots of people. We got clouds and an explosion. What were my options again? What exactly does the clue in the photograph prove? Can I prove the balloon's owner? Can I prove the balloon's color? Can I prove the cause of the explosion? Now that's an interesting one. Maybe that's what I can prove. Let me look again. Well, I see a light. I see this beam. I don't know that any of this would make sense for the cause of the explosion. How... Is it possible I'm fucking up and that none of these are the right answer? Got a little running kid, or maybe... well, maybe there's something I'm missing in here? This is a stretch, and I don't think this logic is very sound. However, this man, Mr. Loon, he did make a point to specify that his balloons are the hydrogen gas balloons that could explode. It seems that this balloon is one of the hydrogen gas balloons that can explode, which would make me think that it's one of his. But, like, also other people could own gas balloons. So I don't really think that that counts as proof that it's his balloon. But I really have zero way to prove that it's that the color is green or what caused the explosion. I don't think I do, at least, anyways, right? Unless there's something that I'm missing here. No, I don't think I'm missing anything. The experiment sketch? No, I don't think that's what it is. The crossbow? No, I don't think that's what it is. Is there a crossbow anywhere in here? Is there anybody shooting at the balloon? This isn't really pointing at the balloon. Is this like a Where's Waldo game? Is there some fucking hidden person who's like got the crossbow ready to go? I'm looking at the photograph. I don't see anybody suspicious, right? That would be crazy if that's what I was looking for, but no, it doesn't look like that's the case. We got this person way out there. We got this woman. He's just doing his little thing. You're not holding anything suspicious, are you? No? Okay.
The balloon's owner!
The owner of the fourth balloon. That's what this photograph tells us.
How can this be possible? See, all of my balloons have red and blue zigzag stripes. But this photograph is black and white. It is useless.
Well, at the very least, we can see that the balloon doesn't have any stripes. And consequently, we know that it can't belong to you. Well, is that helpful? Congratulations! You've narrowed the field of everyone in the world by 1.
Hardly what you'd call proof of the balloon's owner, Counselor.
Well, fuck. Okay, well, to be fair, you couldn't see the entire balloon in the photograph. It was cropped out. Okay, so tell the court, what exactly does the clue in the photograph... Well, then it must be the cause of the explosion. Because that was my second guess. We can reasonably assume that the pictured balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion.
Yes, that is right! It was not my fault!
Evidently. Because the birdcage from the kinesis machine materialized in the sky where it had been flying. And the balloon, being filled with the flammable hydrogen, instantly and explosively ignited. No, that's where you're wrong. That is not what happened. What?
It would appear that this photograph requires closer examination. Counsel for the defense, you will highlight the location of this alleged clue in the photograph for the court.
Fuck, I was hoping I wouldn't have to do that. I mean, of course, I'm gonna do that. If you look closely, it's actually plain enough to see. And what's shown is linked to another piece of evidence that we have. In a way, that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. The clue that heavily suggests the real reason the balloon exploded is... and it's connected to another piece of evidence that I have? Wait, what? Scorch marks. I want to say it's the crossbow, but I don't see the crossbow in this photograph. I mean, we're not saying it's this fucking machine, are we? Like the laser of the machine? No. Mr. Assman? No. I'm actually confused. Is it this beam of light? No, that's ridiculous. Is it... maybe it is the beam. It's linked to another piece of evidence that I've got. Broken vertebra... No. Hang on. I mean, the only other thing that, like, is really obvious in this photo besides the balloon itself is the laser, so I don't know, let's just fucking... Mr. Naruhodo, you've lost me. I don't know where you're going. Are you saying that the laser shot the balloon? Maybe? Without a doubt, it's right here. That doesn't sound confident.
I'm afraid it's still not clear to me, Counsel.
It's not clear to me either, actually.
One thing is abundantly clear.
Yeah, that I'm getting my ass handed to me today. Okay. Well, fuck. Due consideration in both your answers towards your elders. Alright, try again. Great. It's plain enough to see. The thing that is shown, it's linked to a piece of evidence that I've got in a way that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. The clue that heavily suggests the real reason the balloon exploded, linked to a piece of evidence that I have. Can I look at the magnifying glass again? It's plain enough to see, George. That's what everybody keeps telling me. Maybe it is this light streak. Okay, here's the new idea. Maybe... Okay, so maybe this... What is this streak? This is a streak of something, right? Like, something's causing that. Is it a random beam of light? Well, I don't know, because it stops right here. So maybe it's a projection of some kind. Maybe something is being shot into the balloon, like the arrow from the crossbow. That's what it is, in fact, I think. I'm gonna click on this next. This beam of light.
Take that!
The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice there's a bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon. Of course, that's the first fucking thing that I noticed. What do you think I am, some kind of an idiot or something? Most likely a ray of light caught incidentally in the film. No, only a fucking stupid idiot would think that it's a ray of light. God, fucking Von Zeeks, get your head in the game.
I'm afraid I can see nothing of the sort.
If you look with a magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear what the nature of this bright light really is. Does it?
Oh, goodness. What is that?
Just a slightly more zoomed in version of the bright light.
Undeniably, it's some flash of light, yes.
Oh, golly. Do you think it might be lightning?
But it couldn't have been a finer day.
I believe we may be looking at fire.
Bolt of fire heads straight for the balloon like an arrow.
An arrow, you say?
Indeed. Even to my aging eyes, it would appear to be a flame of some sort. My word! Are you suggesting this flame struck the hydrogen gas that filled the balloon?
Objection!
That's absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. No flame could possibly have reached such a height. I beg to differ. Actually, it's my opinion that a particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals how this is assistant, bring me the crossbow. What evidence? The crossbow. I'm about to show it, actually.
If such evidence exists, Counsel, then for goodness sakes,
Present it, man. Oh, Judge, Your Honor, don't call me man. That's wildly inappropriate of you.
which evidence explains this mysterious streak of flame that appears to be headed directly for the balloon?
It's this thing.
Take that!
This was found hidden at the foot of a small ornamental tree near the scene.
Huh! Good lord, is that a crossbow?
An arrow dipped in oil instead of light could have been shot from this weapon, sending a flaming arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon. Are you suggesting that crossbow was used deliberately?
Blimey, you're right! That streak of light in the photo looks just like an arrow, don't it?
Then, the explosion of the balloon was
Very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow igniting the hydrogen gas inside of it. No! Oh, honey, that was one of your gayest What was... No! Oh, gasp!
Order! Counsel, this is an extraordinary supposition.
If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter could have used a gun, of course. However, there's an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question. Guns are loud. The noise of the discharge, of course. That's right. By using a crossbow, the projectile could be fired at the balloon silently.
Well, yeah. If someone had shot a gun off in the exhibition grounds, it would have caused a real panic.
But with the big explosion, there was a very big panic anyway, no?
I don't like this. I should be pleased to have found a plausible new explanation for all of this, but something here feels wrong.
Objection!
Do you understand the implications of what you're saying, my Nipponese friend?
Oh, I thought I was just your learned friend.
Damn it, we're back to Nipponese? If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the bird cage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued...
What? Wait a minute! Are you really... What are you saying here? Oh, I don't get it. Was the bird cage beamed up into the sky after all, or what?
Well, goodness me.
The trick was faked. Now I understand. That's what this sinking feeling is about. I think that there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along.
What? Wait, did I just hear that correctly, Counsel?
There's no going back now. The horse is bolted. It's time. Let's assume, as I said, that the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On stage, when the experiment was started, the birdcage and the instantaneous kinesis machine disappeared in a cloud of smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground, causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. From amid the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appeared to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. I think you'll agree it's entirely plausible that what I've just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day.
Well, this is... Oh, good grief.
Oh, the kid's got a box.
This is ludicrous! What you've described is no science experiment. It's child's play. A contemptible display of stage magic. Yeah, it's a fraud. Both Mr. Sholmes and Iris said that the experiment was a scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what actually happened that day. In any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the crystal tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that? Well, he was in the birdcage in the balloon. I don't know what more to tell you. I mean, well... If I may put in a word as a man of magic myself, such apparent discrepancies can easily be explained by some, simple deception. Juror number 3? All that would be needed is a doppelganger. Someone who looked very similar to the victim, Mr. Assman. And having this other man appear on stage to the front of the show as a body double. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, so there you go, it's fact. Mr. Assman must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon from the start.
Objection!
That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside it would have been scattered to the four winds when it exploded. No one would ever have embarked on such a risky venture.
Well, not necessarily. The explosive force of the balloon gas would very much depend on the mixture ratio.
Juror number 4? Wow. How convenient that I have experts in all of the fields of knowledge that I need for my cross-examination. Do I actually have, like, a helpful jury for once? Oh my god, it's like it was handpicked for me. This is amazing.
Flying balloons are rarely filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well.
Far less flammable.
Helium on its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered.
The mixture ratio?
Well, obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns, but that would be unavoidable. But not to such an extent as to render the whole obscene charade impossible.
Thank you, juror number 4. So, everything that happened can be explained, logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage at the start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception to make it appear that the instantaneous kinesis had occurred.
Oh, well, goodness me.
And if we accept that this is what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Assman, was never present on the public experimentation stage to begin with. In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant who was on stage in full view the entire time. Ugh. Yeah, give me that gay little flinch, you gay little boy. Look at my finger, it's going right up your asshole. After this is going to be very hard for the prosecution to counter. Lord Von Zieks can't credibly maintain that Professor Harebrain is a suspect now. I did it! I won! You son of a bitch. Who's ruining this for me? What asshole? Oh, it's my client. I should have known.
Mr. Naruto, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you.
Professor?
But you can stop now. Just keep your mouth shut. Please!
I'm sorry? What's all this about, Mr. Harebrain? Does Dr. Harebrain, does he know that this was all fraud? Was he in on the scam? Like, what we're describing here is a scam to make this sound like a real experiment that was fake. Is he in on it and trying to cover? I mean, I feel like he would have to be in on it, because how would he not know about the body double if he was right on stage with them? So he's a fraud scientist, which is still criminal. And probably what he doesn't want to admit to.
I, Albert Harebrain, hereby confess that it was me who stabbed Mr. Audie Assman. Yes, it was me, with my faithful friend and partner, Andrew the Screwdriver.
What?
What are you doing? My neck! My back! My pussy and my crack. He's gonna confess to murder just so that he doesn't get outed as a fraudulent scientist?
Order, order, order! Defendant, explain this sudden confession.
My client is insane.
Professor Harebrain, shut the fuck up! It's what I've said all along! I must protect my hypothesis and my precious machine! You stand there and claim it was all a trick, all an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? No, you'd have to examine the machine if you wanted to prove it, but then it would all be over! My beautiful hypothesis would be laid bare! I mean, the indignity of it all!
You are on trial for murder? There is no dignity left! It's clear that you drew the plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. If you'll just let me, I can prove...
Barak!
Yes?
I'll cooperate. I'll do whatever you say. I swear it. So please, ensure the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act is adhered to and protect my creation.
I hate this client. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice at this critical juncture. Girl, you do it every single fucking trial. Stop apologizing for it at this point, alright? Like, don't piss in my face and tell me that it's raining. Just drink your juice, Shelby. Here's to my learned Nipponese friend. I see we've regressed quite far. What? And his upcoming attempt to clarify the defense's position in the light of the accused's confession. What? Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because the moment you do, the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act that protects the professor's investigations will cease to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machinery involved in order to establish the truth. Well, yeah, that's what I intend to do. However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental in the victim's murder, any chance of investigating will be crushed, and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved. I don't care about protecting his hypothesis' privacy, alright? Open the curtains, open the floodgates, look at everything.
Well, counsel, what is the defense's official position on this matter? Look at the machine.
Well, Professor Harebrain is my client, and he is literally asking me directly to prove that the explosion on stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypothesis. But there's no way to do that without implying that he's guilty of the crime. So I might have to just accept that my client is too stupid for his own good. Do I protect my client's life by asserting his innocence? Or do I uphold my client's request but see him condemned? I think the legal ethics of this is that you're supposed to listen to your client. But I am not a rule follower. Either way, I can't avoid betraying his trust. You've been silent long enough. Isn't talking your trade, my learned friend? Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind? Well, I'm just trying to make it seem like it's a hard decision.
Mr. Naruhodo!
There's no escape here. I have to make a choice, but it's impossible. I have to give up on something, but what? The defense asserts that the defendant's instantaneous kinesis machine was in fact... I mean, just to be safe, in case I fuck this up, but... you know, I feel confident that I want to keep this trial going. I want to look at the machine. I think we're correct. I think it was a conjuring trick. I'm sorry, Harebrain. I'm going with it. I think it was a trick. I'm going for the truth. Ah! Fuck! No! I can't say it! My client placed his faith in me. I can't just let him down! Hey! I thought I had free choice in this game. Have you ever played Ghost Trick Phantom Detective? If not, I recommend checking it out. I never have, and I don't really know what it is, but you're not the first person to recommend it to me. So it's been recommended by others, so I think it is something that should be on my radar to check out. What must I give up on? It's not the question that I have to ask myself here. It's what can I protect? Oh, girl! You showed up!
Hello again, Mr. Naruhodo. It's been far too long.
Susato-san! You're here? For real? Or am I hallucinating? What are you?
Hey, oh!
Okay, well, that... God, women, Jesus. My first Susato takedown in 6 months. How did she get into the courthouse?
There'll be time to talk later, Mr. Naruhodo. For now, we have to concentrate on the task at hand.
Are you actually here? Out of nowhere? Sweetheart, do you know what's going on? Do you... What? Am I hallucinating? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Maybe I imagined that. Professor Harebrain!
Ah! Yes?
Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of the truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too.
Yes, of course.
And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Assman. I think you've come to realize something yourself too, haven't you? That your experiments and the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we most... You and I are both men of science. We need to look for the truth here. Alright? We don't bury our head in our assholes.
Ah!
Yeah, waste another bottle, my guy. Just flaunt your unfathomable wealth in front of everybody. So you finally opened your eyes. Wait, what? And as for you, Albert, you can't ignore this any longer.
Yeah.
having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say?
Barock!
Lord Von Zeeks.
Gosh! I've never heard him speak that way before.
Girl, are you really here, or are you a figment of my imagination? I wasn't even the one drinking the wine.
In truth, there is one thing. Something I've remembered that's of relevance.
Yeah, what's that?
On the day that it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage. A man holding that crossbow.
I beg your pardon?
I think she's really here. Professor! Did the man have any distinguishing features? What did he look like?
Tall. Well, taller than me. And he was thinner than me, with straight hair, straighter, and whiter than mine. Let me see. One less lens than me, too. A monocle! A rather stylish black monocle. But one thing in particular will help to positively identify the man, you see. I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention.
What?
He built the machine? Oh, you were scammed. You outsourced the building of your machine to the crossbow wielder? That means that he scammed you. He built a defunct machine, and then he was like, well, I'll just fake it. That's what's happening here.
That's right. Mr. Assman introduced him to me a year ago,
And Mr. Assman was in on it. They're pulling a fraud. These men wanted the government money, and you were just their little toy boy thing. Yeah? Yeah.
He's a man by the name of Enoch Drebber.
Enoch Drebber? Enoch Drebber? What's the pun? There's gotta be a pun. Enough Drebber? Enoch Drebber. 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 I don't know. It's eluding me for now. I'll figure it out.
Enoch? Drebber?
Oh, he's popular, I see.
Does this name mean something, members of the jury? Not to name any scientist wishes to hear, the man's an abomination!
Not to name any conjurer wishes to hear either. Well, who on earth is he? Oh, he's a character from the Sherlock Holmes series?
I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of this nature that I've heard in scientific circles. In connection with that name. There's talk of other flamboyant experiments that turn out to be nothing but stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after the government's research grant money.
When magicians are in need of money, I've heard of them resorting to these underhanded tactics. Some acquaintances of mine with experiences of such things have mentioned Enoch Drebber's name before.
The man is both an engineer and a magician, yes. We're dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here. That's Enoch Drebber for you.
Well, son of a bitch. Is he handsome? Well, can we subpoena him, bring him to court, make him testify? Is that what we're about to do, maybe, possibly, perchance?
So it's true then. My invention. My great machine. It was just a grand illusion.
Considering what we've just heard about Mr. Drebber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely.
Even though no one else believed it. I wanted to. I wanted to believe that machine would function exactly as my hypothesis predicted.
Which is why you were so opposed to it being investigated, I presume.
I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen, but at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trick, than a work of deception, and then everything I'd worked toward, all my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over.
My boy, this is what the field of science is. You make most of science is getting shit wrong. Alright, so form a new hypothesis and move on with your life.
I was terrified at the prospect.
So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine that was built. And the true nature of Mr. Drebber.
I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it.
That's a really terrible quality to have as a scientist, respectfully. It's entirely possible that Mr. Assman and Mr. Drebber were working together to use you as a means of fraudulently acquiring the research grant money.
When I announced my invention to the crowds that day, it was the finest moment of my career! I pulled all of the levers and turned all of the dials in exactly the way Drebber had described. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore. Sorry.
Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? Guys, can we come up with an acronym for this? Can we just start calling this the SDSE Act?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm very sorry.
Great! Let's crack that machine open, take a look at it, and clear my client of any wrongdoing.
Well, it would appear that we should have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day now. Lord Von Zieks. My lord. The court has newly been made aware of another party whose involvement in this matter is critical.
Yes, Mr. Drebber.
Gather information about the man. If possible, I should like him to be served with a subpoena.
With pleasure, my lord.
Now, counsel for the defense.
Yeah, that's me. What's up?
When we reconvene, I shall be looking for one thing and one thing alone from you. Evidence that the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused.
I've come to expect nothing less in this topsy-turvy world where my clients are always guilty until I prove them innocent. It makes me have much more respect for the real world where we are innocent until proven guilty. Most of the time. Some of the time. I understand.
Good. In that case, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning.
We're done. Well, we're on break. Do I have to wrap up with my client in the... Yeah, of course I do. Fuck my life. All right, October 23rd, 1:36 p.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. All right, you're sad, I get it, but let's... Life moves on, Hairbrain. All right, what are we going to do here?
Mr. Naruto!
Yeah?
I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trusted me. I dragged you into my mess. Oh, how did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I would like to just move on and go look at your machine. Did you really have no idea, Professor? About what Mr. Drebber was really up to? I mean, about what he was really constructing?
Naturally. That machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis, of all of my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in it.
Well, you really took a hands-off approach. Alright, in any case, I won't say any more. Now, sadly the murder accusation against you still stands for now. So what we gotta do now is I gotta go investigate, as much as I can before the trial resumes tomorrow. Understood?
Well, thank you for doing so much for me.
Yeah, you're gonna pay me, right? Alright, Susato, you're actually here in front of me. I can touch you.
No, that's really inappropriate.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruhodo.
Arriving late?
Didn't you receive my postcard? I wanted to let you know when I'd arrive.
Postcard? What postcard?
I hid it from you, Runo, so that it would be a surprise.
Oh, you feckled little bitch.
Well, did it work?
Yeah, I was surprised. Especially when she decided to flip me over and throw me to the ground in the middle of court.
Oh, right. I'm sorry about that. I was just so happy to see you again that, well, it's sort of what I do.
Yeah. You're one of those quirky girls, aren't you? Well, maybe we could stick to more traditional displays of affection in the future, actually. I mean, we did both fall in love with Kazuma-sama. We could talk about him.
Susie's train was late into London, Victoria, this morning. But we made the coachman really whip those horses hard so she didn't miss the whole trial.
Oh, so you stole my mail fraudulently, and you committed animal abuse. Great. What a wonderful child we're raising.
I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. You were doing a really bad job, and I needed to tell you that you were about to commit some real bullshit.
Right, yeah, no, you saved my asshole again. Having you at my side in my court, having you be my assistant who does all the helpful parts for me in court, it really makes me look good. So, I need you, actually. You're my best friend. So I'm delighted to see you, back here in London.
Oh! Gosh, that was really kind. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I can continue to be of service to you.
Well, girl, do you want to go investigating with me? Of course. So, what's brought you back here? Did Professor Mitochondria not protest?
Let's save all that conversation for when we're back home. You know, I've made one of my most special blends ever for this special occasion. Oh, Iris, how wonderful. I can't wait.
Great, women and tea, my favorite hobbies. Okay. Susato-san was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at the time, but despite my elation, our tale was about to take yet another extraordinary turn. Yeah, there it is. Okay. To be continued. We've wrapped the case. Well, not really. We've wrapped day 1. Alright, so we've got to investigate more, and it sounds like we've got to go back to court and do another trial, so I think episode 3 is going to be sticking with us for a little bit longer. Investigation part 2. Oh! And we have to figure out what in the world's going on with the wax people. Shit, I wonder how that's gonna tie into... Oh my... A body double?! This bitch made a wax... That's how it's connected! The body double is a wax figure. Son of a bitch! We're gonna have to talk to that fucking witch. The Witch of Wax. Alright, well, all of that is problems for tomorrow. I will be back here 7 o'clock Eastern Time. If you guys want to see me interrogate the witch and learn more about wax people and how this trick was pulled off, be here for that. That's what we're going to do. If you could also leave a like on the stream, the engagement is super helpful. Thank you for spending your evening with me, and I will bid you a farewell. Alright, boys. Toodles!